Right, let's turn to this now. The National Union of Mineworkers has called on the Minister of Mineral Resources and Energy, Gwede Mantashe, to refrain from being involved in the union's internal affairs. This comes after he made public comments that the union's suspension of its General Secretary was madness. For more on this, we're joined now by the President of the National Union of Mineworkers, Dan Baipile. Good to have you, and thank you very much for your time. Is this a lashing at the chairperson of the ANC, or is this a warning at the chairperson of the ANC?
Good evening to your viewers and members of the union nationally. I don't want to call it a lashing, but for sure it will be a warning to Comrade Gwede Mantashe, so that he must not abuse the platform that was given to him by Communist Party on the day in question, because it was really uncalled for him to utter those statements that was uttered on that day.
Is there something that he said to you, at least in the background, before what he said to the rest of your membership publicly during that speech, that would have, I suppose, indicated to you at the time that he was not in agreement around the suspension of the Secretary General? Because he said yes, he raised this matter with you.
Yes, he did. Before he took the platform, we spoke about the matter. In actual fact, he raised an issue to say he wanted to intervene, and then I agreed with him that I'll be meeting the national office bearers on Monday, and then immediately after that Monday, I will let him know that when is the date we should agree that the intervention. I was completely surprised to hear that from him after we were spoken about this matter between the two of us.
Yeah. Why would you think he would want to raise it at this time? I know in your statement you're saying it could closely be linked with the list process for Parliament ahead of 2024, suggesting that I suppose he would want to have some kind of influence on who makes it to that list from your union.
Yes, that is our view, that he's playing in the gallery. He's just want to garner support from NUM members, unnecessarily so, by undermining the current leadership of the union, because our view is strictly that he is undermining us as the current leadership of the union, because it's true that he was a former member, he was a former General Secretary, he is a former General Secretary of the union, and he remains a former for that matter. Now, there is current leadership that is leading the union currently, and then likewise he said in his statement that ANC must give him a space to lead. It's the same thing that we are requesting to him as a chairperson of the ANC, that give us space, you led this union, this is our time to lead the union now. It matters not whether the decision at some point that we have taken is not, we are not satisfied with that decision. It's not an issue, but there are platforms that we engage as alliance partners. If that could be respected, we'll be happy about that.
Are you taking exception maybe also to the fact that he's calling the current visibility of the union almost non-existent, saying you're so weak, close to non-existent?
Yes, because now there's another issue, because we were surprised, all of us, as we're sitting in that meeting, that where is Mantashe driving us now? Because when he left this union in 2012, the status that we are in is the very same status that the union was. And I can tell you now that the union is growing, but at that time, after AMCO took our members in Rustenburg and in the gold mines, we were around 150, 140,000. We are crippling very well to 200,000 membership now. I don't know where does he base his argument really. But this analysis in the entire country, in that one is spot on as a union and as a federation, not only limited to the to NUM. But as a federation, we need to do more. But that is not the issue that was supposed to be raised in the context that he raised it.
So what were the reasons that you clearly have not then forwarded to your alliance partners, maybe because this suspension happened late in July, and maybe you have not yet had time to meet with them and furnish them with the reasons why this decision was taken?
Look, NUM is an autonomous organization from any other alliance partner. Like any alliance partner, they have their own right to take whatever decision, as long as that decision is taken within its structures, like NUM. Yes, if we had to, like COSATU, our federation, we must report to them and say we have taken that decision, not to be accountable to them. That's not an issue, because NUM is an autonomous organization, and then we take our decision in our structures as we are. We have our own constitution as a NUM that guides us in how do we take our decision going forward.
So it's a suspension with full pay. Others are saying this is linked to the bruising factional battles that are happening within the union over union funds. How substantiated are those claims?
They are not at all. They are not at all. There is no factional fights that are continuing. This is a decision of the National Union of Mineworkers, NEC, National Executive Committee, the highest decision-making structure between the congresses. Now, yes, it's suspension with full pay, because remember, if we are elected in the NUM as a General Secretary, you are employed full-time in the NUM books now. We can't suspend him without paying him his full salary and the benefits thereof.
So the reports are that he's charged, rather, with essentially signing off on particular administrative activities that maybe the rest of the leaders were not particularly in agreement with. Would that be correct?
No, I don't want to go to that level, to be honest. The matter is still under investigation. I don't want to go to the fact that says what is the charge all about. It's not charged yet. It's just a suspension pending investigation, and ultimately it will lead, if there's something that is concrete that is found, it will lead to a disciplinary hearing.
From yourself as the president, is the NUM imploding?
Not at all. It's not. The NUM is in good hands. The NUM is growing. NUM structures are operating as it's supposed to be. There's nothing that really is taking us to any direction that will seek to suggest that we are divided or going of that nature. There's nothing.
Dan, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us. That's Dan Baipile there.